Alright, what's up everybody? This is Rob Shack. So today we're doing the next video in my Samurai Warriors walkthrough here. I guess it's not even the walkthrough, I'm done. But yeah, I'm going to be going through and I'm going to be answering the question today of is Samurai Warriors 1 and Samurai Warriors Extreme Legends, is it a masterpiece of Koei's? I will give my answers. My answer is yes. I'm just going to spoil it right there, but I'm going to explain why I think so. I'm going to go through, give all my answers for everything about this game. Hopefully I convince you. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Help me get to 1,000 subs. Right now, only 8% of my viewers are subbed. I'd love to get that number higher. So I'm going to go through and just kind of as an intro here, I'm going to just go through and talk about everything that this game has to offer. I'm going to talk about everything that we can do here, why this game has so much content, it's so replayable. As you can see, I've 100% of this game, which was already obvious because you've been watching. If you've been watching this, I've been going through this entire game for years. So I will show everything that I like about this game, things that I think are a little bit weird. I'm not going to be so rose tinted that I think this game is perfect, but it's just so good. And I'll give all of my information here. So this is the intro, and I'll kind of what's the word? I'll put the thumbnails in the description below for what I'm trying to talk about. So that's how we'll do this thing. I hope I convince you. If not, let me know in the comments below what you think about Samurai Warriors 1 and Extreme Legends. Alright, so to those of you who may or may not know, this is an old game, but if you are new to the Samurai Warriors and Koei games, they make a lot of games that are Warriors games. They are most known for Dynasty Warriors, but Samurai Warriors is a spin-off that's based on feudal Japan, so Koei's Dynasty Warriors is feudal China. Samurai Warriors is feudal Japan, so it's the similar layout to what Dynasty Warriors is. You have factions, you have people battling and all that stuff. You have wide-scale battles. You have your charge attacks, you have your regular normal attacks, and you have your musos. This game is basically taking the foundation of Dynasty Warriors. I think it was 4 that was out at the time. This game came out in 2004. I think 4 was 2003. And basically expanded on every single aspect of the gameplay, which is really awesome. This game you start very similarly to Dynasty Warriors. You start with a character with only 4 swings on their attack. You have your Muso, and you have the difference though is that as you progress in the game with the gameplay, you actually are able to get when you get new weapons, instead of just having an expanded final normal attack, you actually get charge attack strengthening as well. Each of your charge attacks also gets stronger or it gets more complex. You have more slashes, you have more stuff going on with each of the charge attacks as well. And you get 8 swing attacks instead of the regular 4. You have a little flurry at the end instead of your just doing 6 hits. You do 8, but it's a little flurry. It's not like you don't get a million combos there, but you do get more attacks for each of your charge attacks, which is pretty cool. So, and as you're seeing here on this gameplay on screen, there are missions on the level. This was kind of introduced in the Battle of Bo-on-Po in Dynasty Warriors 4. They basically took that concept and made an entire mechanic out of it, which is one of the coolest things and one of the most replayable things about this game, about Samurai Warriors 1, is that you can see all the missions in a HUD, and you can tell which secret missions are left on each level. So you know, I gotta fail certain things, and this is how it is. If you fail certain missions, you will be able to get extra story, extra dialogue. You may make the level match up with the same level when you play on the other team. You have stuff like that happening. It's very, very awesome. One of the, if not the coolest thing, there's a lot of really cool features of this game, and one of them for sure is the mission feature, where you're able to see all the missions that are in the game that they've coded in, and that they're all listed as question marks, so you have to kind of figure them out. Some of them are really easy to unlock. It's just like fail the obvious mission. Some of them are very, very minute, and that's what's really cool. They put a lot of time, effort, and love into these missions on each level. They do change the tide of the battle, whether you've passed them or failed them. Battles can completely become super different, very challenging either way. They're very, very fun, and that's one of the most impressive core mechanics of it. It also it ties well into the segue of these missions allow for branching storylines, which is one of the coolest things ever in this game. I'll show one of those branching story missions in this. This is one of the most iconic ones, Yukimura. If you're playing through this game new, I mean, I have a video on this, so hopefully y'all know this by now, but Yukimura's bottom tier you can't unlock until you beat the game with Shingen. You cannot. It's really interesting that they made this mechanic. They did a lot of cool mechanics like that. There's mechanics where you have to unlock certain things through all these different modes. There's things you have to fail certain missions to unlock certain whole bonus missions and objectives and extra story. It's really, really cool. So here's one of these green missions. These are the game changers. If you let Hanzo go through, he will slash and eliminate Shingen. That's what's very interesting. When you play through this game at first, this drove me nuts. As a kid, I could not ever stop Hanzo because he literally spawns immediately at the front. It's pretty hilarious because they don't tell you that. You have to literally beat the game with Shingen to see and unlock this Hanzo a moment. He just spawns at Shingen and kills him. It's very, very interesting. Mechanics like this are what are missing from Koei games. Koei games don't really have stuff like this anymore. It's very sad. I don't know what Koei's up to now, but I haven't played Samurai Warriors 4 or 5. I played 2, it was terrible, and 3 was on the Wii only. It's weird. So yeah, I don't know. But these branching storylines are great. There's separate endings for each of the stories. There's the top tier, which is the better ending, I think, because it has better graphics. And then the lower tier ending, which is kind of made with in-game graphics. Very interesting. But yeah, this was one of their best features for sure. Massive storytelling unlocked through cool events that happen in-game that you're able to change the course of the battle. Unlock lower tiers. It's replayable. You have missions on all those lower tier ending, all those levels. Same with the upper tier. Every level has a ton of missions. You even have missions where you'll go into the castle. I can show one of those later. But you have missions where you have siege levels where you have a castle, and if you defeat the commander, then everyone rushes into the castle, and then you have these final things. All missions that can be completed. It's very, very impressive, very, very fun, very replayable, and it allows you to grind to get your great new weapons and all your charge attacks. You can progress by making your character amazing. It's very, very fun and very enjoyable. And so here's just one sample of this. I wasn't going to play through an entire level because that would take way too long. This video would be forever long. But yeah, every character has a skill tree. It's a very basic skill tree in this game, but it gets the job done. You're able to unlock different traits for each character, including elemental attacks, which is pretty sweet. And then items that you unlock. I'll talk about the items later, but there are items that you unlock that can make you have elemental stuff on all your attacks, not just when your Musos are full. All these things are very, very good. Some of them are kind of sucky, like counterattack power increases kind of is terrible. Range attacks pierce enemies is also kind of bad, but you have really amazing ones like better experience and ratings after clearing a stage, healing people and raising morale and all this stuff. So each character has a skill tree. I'm not sure what growth means actually. Okay, so growth just shows the list of all the things you've done. Okay, so shows all of your abilities. So this is just, this is not that important, but again, it's cool they have this in the game so you can show this if you're doing a review of it like I am right now. You can see all the skills I've done here for all my characters. I generally always go for acclaim, but I don't even think they do this. I don't think this even is in later Samurai Warriors games. They just remove, game has so much depth. You can do so many things, and each of them have their own names too. This is interesting that they would put time into naming these attacks and this stuff. It's just, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing with this game. They really had thought it all through. And now there's free mode. So free mode, if you're new to any sort of Samurai Warriors game, again, every Samurai Warriors game has a free mode. It's pretty fun. You just go through. You can select anybody's tail, so you can go through and pick someone's in gameplay, and you can go through. And this is a good way to grind if you're struggling with certain characters. And you don't want to have. You never want to lower the. You never want to lower the difficulty, in my mind. I would never want to do that. If you do, that's fine. But this is the easy way to do that in case you don't want to lower the difficulty, which I never did. What is all of this stuff? Wow. So yeah, I have all the items. I'll talk about the items later, but right now I'm just kind of going through this. Yeah, so I want to also show you have, of the two gameplay mechanics, you have the main levels, the siege levels, and you have these levels right here where you're inside a castle. Kind of interesting to do it. I've never done this before. Doing a tale with a character, so Kunoichi's just talking, but she's not even here. So that's really interesting. So I'm playing as Mitsuhide for some reason. But yeah, there's the levels that are outside. There's the siege levels that lead to these levels, which are the levels that are the, I guess they're just called infiltrations, or they're just like castle levels. The experience is massive on these levels. They're not as, I would say that these levels are not nearly as fun, which I think people kind of were in agreement that these levels are not as fun. I like them because you get way more experience. You get better weapons. They're in the boxes. You have a cool gimmick right here with this bridge where it collapses. It's pretty cool. But the castle levels, you get really good experience. Really good experience. You'll see it when I take out a general. There's no generals here for some reason. I forgot what level this is. But yeah, the interior levels are usually very linear. You don't have a lot of allies. They eventually brought in that, and I'll explain that later. They add allies on these levels in Extreme Legends more, but in this mode, generally it's just you taking on the rest of the enemies. It's pretty cool. There's also missions in here, and these missions can be set to, you can pass and fail these and unlock secret content as well, which is pretty cool. Here's Goemon apparently. But yeah, you get a lot of experience for doing these missions, and when they defeat in silence Goemon. I forgot about this. This is pretty hilarious. Oh, see, look, he caused me to fail. That's pretty funny. So yeah, failing missions causes things to change. It's pretty interesting. It'll change the tide of the level. I think that stuff is really cool. I think they do a really good job of, again, the replayability is insane on these levels because every single character unlocks a 5th weapon in Samurai Warriors 1, and I'll talk about the 6th later in Extreme Legends, but 6th rare weapon on Extreme Legends, which is really awesome. So there's so much, and obviously going through and grinding to unlock all the rare items. I'll talk about how some of them have really interesting gimmicks later, but there's a lot of that. It's just, there's so much replayability in this game. What I've come to realize with Samurai Warriors 1 is there's a reason to go back and play like every single thing. And you can do it on, when you get the rare items, you get them on harder difficulties. The rare weapons are on harder difficulties. So you go back, play the game on a harder difficulty, and you have special stuff. It's just great. They really thought this stuff through. Even levels like this that are not nearly as fun, you can still pass and fail missions. It can still lead to things changing on the level, which is really interesting. You can still get secret missions, but there are a lot of secret missions unlockable through the rare levels, and you get more experience for fighting things in here. It's pretty great. Rare items, lots of item drops, lots of weapon drops on these levels. I think they're really good. I think they're a good way to kind of grind the game too, to play it in free mode. You can test out stuff. Free mode is really good for being chill and being able to grind, and you can get extra experience if you're having trouble. Don't think you will have trouble. This game isn't really that hard. There are moments that are tricky with it, but it's not impossible. AI can be really a pain. AI are really good in this game. They will muso you. They will destroy you. They will, like for example, Goemon, like he freaking shot his cannon, so then everyone found me. So like stuff like that. They have cool gimmicks through the AI doing certain things. And the AI are very smart in this game. They'll block, they'll parry, they'll muso you. They'll try to, clash with your weapon, and you have to push mash B to break the tie. This game has cool things where you can, in this game, you can, if you mash square enough. This dude is ruining my. He keeps shooting his cannon. It's hilarious, and ruining all of my. Oh, it didn't count as a fail that time. Interesting, but yeah. So in this game, what was I saying? I was laughing at how Goemon shoots his cannon. It's so goofy. Characters in this game are great. I think I've already talked about that, but I'll talk more about it later because I always will come back to how great the characters are. Every character is so unique in this game. It's freaking awesome. Every character is so unique. I love it. Yeah, a lot of things to do. Free mode is a great way to kind of get experience. I think you can unlock your rare items through free mode too. I always just did it through Muso mode because you can pick it that way too. And you generally will be picking, it'd be redundant to pick the free mode and then pick that character on the free mode. You might as well just pick their Muso mode. But I think you can unlock rare items and rare weapons through free mode as well. But it's just a great way to get the game going. Cool traps on the these levels is kind of a double feature here when I'm talking about the interior levels because I wanted to show it. Interior levels are really fun. You can pick them on free mode and get the hangout of all, there's a bunch of different randomized routes in these little castle levels, so you can kind of check them all out. And Konuichi's not actually here because I am playing as Mitsuhide. So it's pretty funny. I never realized that they actually keep her dialogue in the game, even though she's not here. I'm playing as Mitsuhide. Here's one of the, actually, this is actually pretty funny. I picked this. I didn't even think about this, but there are gimmicks on these little castle levels like this where you have fake doors. Some of the characters' secret weapons are actually linked to this. I'm pretty sure Masamune's is linked to getting all these wrong. You have to try and fail at all the doors. It's pretty funny that they even came up with stuff like this. They put like rare weapons linked to which, if you can get all of them wrong. I think that stuff is so cool. The gimmicks to unlock people's weapons are usually linked sort of to what their character is all about. So like Yukimura's 5th weapon, he has to get 1,000 kills on the level. The Siege of Osaka Castle, which is his ending, him dying. Spoiler alert. But he has an ending where he dies on that level. That's like his upper tier ending. So the fact that they make the rare weapon linked to getting 1,000 kills on that level, which would further make him look exhausted in the cutscene, is pretty cool. And Masamune's is falling for all of these fake stairs on his level of this. They do a great job. They really do. They really nail it. They nail the mechanics. They actually put time and effort into making the characters, the unlockables, link kind of to how their personality is. Pretty creative indeed. It's just phenomenal. So, yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that they drop experience. See, again, so much experience is unlockable through these, through the castle levels. The castle levels are underrated because you get so much experience for doing random crap. Like I didn't even pay attention to this, but yeah, I'm getting experience for killing each of these defense captains. So if I was like grinding and I was behind in my experience, I would love this level because I would want to get all wrong. I would probably walk to each one before I ever tried a door. So it's good stuff. The ruining of friendships. I played this game a lot. Versus mode with my cousins when I was a kid. Definitely is very, very fun. Versus modes are very underrated. They're not important in this game. I'll get to why they're more important in Extreme Legends when I get to that part of the video. I'll talk about that. Versus modes are a very fun way to kind of relax. They let you play them against the AI, which is actually really rare. I don't think they even do that anymore. So the versus modes are very fun. You can literally play against the AI. Hanzo is the enemy player that's moving around the map. He will run at you constantly and try to kill you. In this mode, this is the 2-player army one. If you kill all their generals, Ieyasu spawns. If they kill all yours, then your general spawns, and everyone respawns if Hanzo dies or I die. An enemy or allied general, respectively, will respawn. It's pretty cool. KG also spawns on this map. There's 2 other modes. I won't show them because you can just go look for yourself. They're very fun. One is to be the first of you or the enemy player to get 1,000 kills. The other one is be the first one to capture Goemon. All of them kind of have missions. Again, it's cool. We're all about their mission feature in this game. So they actually have missions literally in the versus mode when you're playing against AI. So versus mode is fun in this game. I'll explain later how great it is. You actually unlock rare items, but I'll show that I'll mention that in more detail when I get to the Samurai Warriors Extreme Legends part. There is some cool stuff with that, and Extreme Legends really perfects the mechanics of 1, but I'll get to that. So yeah, versus mode, fun. You get to fight Hanzo. He spawns. He's strong. He moves towards you. The enemy generals will run at you too. They try to charge your force. You have like 8 generals. They have 8 generals, and everyone is, it's just giant armies battling it out. With the Goemon one and with the 1,000 enemies or killed one, the enemy player doesn't actually get like a ton of kills. They kind of just walk into an area and get kills. So that's a little bit cheesy. So that's why I like this mode, because this one Hanzo's actually running around killing people. He's not just like standing in the area that's favorable and then getting a bunch of kills that he doesn't actually get. You can see him not getting kills on those 2 levels. But on this level, he's actually walking around and doing stuff, and he kills you can get stabbed and killed and just like fall over, and then you're just like you just respawn at the beginning, as does Hanzo. So like both of you as the players are always constantly respawning. Hanzo will continuously respawn until either Ieyasu's dead, you're dead, or you run out of time. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, you can die. It's kind of crazy to see your character just fall over. It's weird, but it does happen. I can show it in a second because I'm about to die in this little clip here. But so Hanzo dies. When generals die too, they respawn. But because I killed Hanzo before our general died, that person doesn't respawn. So yeah, that's it. Next, I'll show some challenge mode stuff. This is stuff that ties in later to the free mode, or sorry, to the creating an officer mode. I'll show that later. There's just a lot of funny stuff with the edit classes. I'll get there, but the challenge mode is basically going through each of those things. I'm gonna do Muso mode because it's the funny one. This is my favorite thing to do. One of my favorite things to do in this game is pick Kunoichi, pick the Muso mode, and just run around and do her spinny thing just over and over and over and over and over again. It's pretty hilarious. When it gets to it, you can just kind of keep running around and spinning with your swords forever. And so I'm like, this is pretty funny to me. I might not be able to. I want to show y'all. Yeah, here it goes. I want to show y'all what I can do. It's pretty funny. You can just keep spinning and just keep going and just keep doing this, and it can just lead to insane amounts of KOs for Muso mode. I don't know if they thought about this. I don't think they planned on this with the challenge mode of this game, because I think they just were making it and like we're like, oh, we should just make something for we want to show the player the ability to try all these things out. But then they were like, oh wait, Kunoichi breaks this. So here's just a little bit. It's pretty great. You can get 1 million kills, and I don't know how she's not completely vomiting everywhere because she's just spinning constantly. And you can get insane amount of kills, and it's just really great. All right, and then next up I'm going to talk about saving or creating a new character. So you can create characters in this game. It's very, very basic in terms of creativity of what they look like. They're all templates that are set up already. You can't change them. You can make up fun names. I think you can make names that actually give you power. And that might be just in the Japan version. I think it is. But yeah, so you go through, you have 12 months. You have 12 months essentially, where it's just like you have 12 different rounds of this. You do certain challenges, and then from here, you just destroy people, and it gets you strength. You're able to unlock secret characters in here, and you can unlock like boss fights, and you can beat them and get special abilities. You create your character. Craziest thing about this is you're able to use this character in their own unique personal Muso mode with its own missions, with its own everything. It's very awesome. Koei put some great time, love into this. They did not have to do this. Every Muso game has, a edit officer mode, but nothing like this. I don't think they've ever done anything like this since. It's so cool that they thought of this. They literally put Muso modes for edit officers that are not just like crappy, because some of the games, the Muso modes for edit officers is just like what you see it's just like free mode essentially. But in this game, they actually had unique weapons and unique movesets and unique everything for the edit officers. Now granted, they are the generic swords, but it's like, for example, this chick, when you use her Muso, she actually has a different it worked out well. She has a different slash compared to the male versions. Like, there are unique little gimmicks hidden in the edit officers. It's pretty freaking great. They do a great job of, and then yeah, you have like Yoshimoto's version of the Battle of Imagawa. It's kind of it feels like it was paving the way for them adding new characters into Extreme Legends, because you get like one little glimpse of Yoshimoto's version of Imagawa, and then you end up playing as the edit officer. That character is on that level. You have a whole bunch of you have branching stories with the edit officers as well. So it's really, really impressive. They did such a great job of showing like what you could do with this. It's just so amazing. They came up with some really great stuff on the side here, and it all stems from this exercise where you were able to unlock and create your own character. You have trials in this that don't really matter, but it'd be cool if all there'd be the one thing I complained about this, and it's not even a bad complaint, is I wish there was more. There's literally at the end of the trials, you actually get to pick your dojo. It doesn't actually change your Muso mode though. It'd be very interesting if there was a different one for each one. But it's not, again, it's not a terrible thing. I'm just like, I love that they did this, and they really did not do this type of thing anymore or anything like this. And it was such a good idea. Customizable trials for creating officers that you then take into your own mission and take them on the field of battle, branching stories, endings for each one, incredible stuff. Koei nailed it with the design of the edit mode. All right, and now for the grind. So now here we have the survival mode. There's two modes. They are both very important if you want to 100% this game. I think they're pretty awesome. I used to hate them as a child, and as I played this game as an adult, going for 100%er, I respected the crap out of Koei making a mode like this, and then having the foresight to link rare items and rare weapons and rare everything. There is stuff that you can do in here if you get to certain points in the as it gets harder and harder. So there's two modes. Obviously, there's survival, which is where I think that's this. Is it my own survival? Oh, I'm on Abyss. Abyss has an actual final boss. I'm pretty sure it's Lu Bu. They actually have Lu Bu in this game as a secret hacked character. You can't play as him. I wish you could. People have figured it out. I don't care about that. I don't like the hack games. But yeah. So in Abyss, you actually fight Lu Bu. I don't remember what you unlock for doing that. You can go back and look. I did it. With survival, it's infinite, but as you get further and further, you actually unlock these scrolls or rare items that when you put them together, you like obliterate everybody. It's pretty cool. The fact that they put rare items and secrets in the survival mode, the mode that when as a kid I never even touched it. I never even touched survival mode. And I didn't care, but now I'm like, this is pretty great. There's literally rare items, rare events, secrets in the game that you only find if you try these things and get far in them. I think it was very, very creative of them to do this, to put rare items and link secrets in these little things. I don't have a lot to say on this because it's just really cool. I mean, all that they are is climbing up and going down in towers. That's literally all that it is, just forever. But the Abyss does have an ending. I can't remember what level it is. Maybe 30? Sounds good. I don't remember where it ends, but it is just going through and just clearing out enemies and just doing your thing. It's pretty great. They do a great job. Again, you get more castle content. I think some of these you can actually find and they replay. But yeah, the fact that they put secrets is super unique. They did that with everything in this game. They have secrets linked to the new mode. They have secrets linked to everything in this game. There's a reason to try every single part of this game because something is unlocked generally. There's something unlocked or there's some secret in every single part of this game. And this version has rare items, the scrolls, and I don't remember, again, I wish I remembered. Someone tell me in the comments. I don't remember what it is. But there's something you unlock from doing it. Getting all the way to the top in this. I don't remember what it is though. But I might have switched them. I think it's actually Abyss. I might have switched those. I think Abyss is the one where you fight a person. I don't remember. But one of them you go down or you go and continue to fight. One of them goes on forever. So that's what you do. It's pretty great. And now I'll go ahead and stop there. So I want to show one little part here. This is the type of thing that I was talking about. I could show it with each character, but then this video again would be 5,000 years long. If you play through the level normally, you get your normal missions that come up. But then if you fail certain things, that's where this stuff comes from. So like obviously if you stop the assassination of Shingen, you actually are able to pursue and eliminate Ieyasu, but if you when you first get to this level, the level of Mikatagahara, you don't actually ever beat this pursue and eliminate Ieyasu because that fails when Shingen dies, and then you have to stop everyone from entering the main camp. So again, so many different missions on each level. Missions vary wildly. You can have an insane amount of missions for certain levels depending on what's going on it. Some of them are pretty easy. Some of them are really complex to unlock. and then it's pretty awesome. And then here are the rare items that I unlocked for doing the thing where you go to level 30. So all these secret items, I'm not gonna all my videos in my channel, my playlist, all show how to unlock all this stuff. I'm not gonna talk about all of them, but there's a lot of rare items. Cool that they're linked to things in the game. And then the movies in this game, the level ending ones are all incredible, insane graphics. Endings two are good because the graphics in the game aren't terrible, but they are the negative endings. Okuni has a million endings, and the new character also has endings. I'll probably just show Yukimura. It's one of my favorites. Just for a second here to show how good the graphics are. It's just insanely good. This game was so good, way ahead of its time, and has kind of aged extremely well because they put so you see the love, you see how much they put into this game. I mean, this is 2004. Look at these cutscenes in 2004. This is insane. I'm not sure if it's rendered. I don't know what they did. Voice cap or motion capture. What did they do to make these look not bad at all for 2004? 2004 is like 20 years ago as of the recording of this, right? 20? Yeah. So it's nuts. Look at how good these endings are. And again, Yukimura's rare weapon is linked to getting 1,000 kills on this level. So like, if you get his sixth weapon or fifth weapon, you're like, yeah, he would be struggling because you get 1,000 kills on hard. It's very difficult. So they just nailed it. They nailed it even with stuff like that. They did such a good job in this game. Cutscenes are great. Endings are great. Ending 1 and 2, branching paths. And I'm going to go now to Samurai Warriors Extreme Legends.